latest on Super Typhoon Trami, which continues to intensify on the cusp of reaching Category 5 status right now, with winds of 155 miles per hour, that's about 250 kilometers per hour, and the pressure around 925 millibars. It's at 19.4 degrees north, 129.6 degrees east, and is now a stage 8 on the CDPS. Very strong indeed. If it was to strike land at this time, catastrophic even, as of 11 p.m. at Japan Standard Time, September 24th. Here's where it is right now in relation to those other locations: 454 miles from Daitojima, 456 from Miyakojima, 492 from Santa Ana in the Philippines, and 644 from Taipei, with still an uncertain future. Gale advisories are in effect for most of Taiwan now, except some part of the southwest, and for most, if not all, of the Japanese Ryukyu Islands at this time, expecting the storm to arrive in the next few days, but it's not going to get there very quickly. As we take a look at the model run here from the GFS, you can see how slowly it's expected to move over the next 5 days. Indeed, it could be stalling very soon indeed, and that may also affect the storm's intensity. It will certainly affect its wind field. It will probably grow larger if it continues to move more slowly, and then a curve towards the northeast, then to the northwest towards the Japanese islands. It looks like, according to this model, into the East China Sea. Some other models disagree. Anywhere from the Luzon Strait round to the Japanese islands, the main islands even, should continue to watch this storm very closely. Sea surface temperatures though look like this, around 28 or 29 degrees Celsius. Certainly warm enough to sustain a storm of this caliber. Here's another look at the wind field. So the greens there denoting gale force winds, looking on the northeastern tip of the Philippines there, looks like it will avoid that. You can see some other systems there of the northwest delivering wind to the coast of Taiwan, and the storm coming up there by the end of the week, and the winds will really start to be felt on the Ryukyu Islands as it pushes through. Exactly where it's going to land, we don't really know at this point. But it's probably going to move very slowly until it pretty much reaches those islands, and then it will move off towards the northeast according to that model there. So these are the chances of tropical storm force winds in the next 5 days. 58% in Miyakojima, that's the highest percentage of them all here, 30% on Okinawa, and 31% at Taipei. Here's another look at those models. The JTWC firmly believing it will become a Category 5 and then some. The other models not really at the races at the moment. It looks like the storm will continue to intensify. I think the models have got some catching up to do, because wind shear, look at that, it's extremely low, around 5 knots. The CTCX is a curious model, taking it the furthest south into Taiwan. It's the only model that's doing that. HWRF and GFS, pretty good agreement. It's going to go towards some of those Ryukyu Islands in Japan. Here is the latest satellite imagery. You can just about make out the coast of Luzon on the bottom left-hand side. That's of course where Typhoon Mangkhut made landfall a week or two ago, and you can see how the storm has been developing over the last few hours. At the start, in the last update that we did, we saw how this ragged eye was coming out, and it's really rounded itself excellently in those last few frames. And now on the northern side of the storm, it's consolidating that northern eye wall, really starting to come together. It will probably be a Category 5 in the next few hours, and we'll be there to talk about it. You can follow Force 13's outlets, the website force13.com with the latest. You can also find our YouTube page. You're probably there already, but if not, subscribe if you haven't so far. You can also find our Facebook page, Force 13 all in text, and it's at Force 13 on Twitter if you'd like to get in touch with us on there. You can also help the project become even better by enjoying the benefits of patronage. You can find out more information about how to become a patron and what those benefits are at patreon.com/Force13. You can also add my personal account on Discord, Fool13 at extension 9094, and Force13 on Skype. We also have a new server on Discord. You can find a link in the community tab.